Hi everybody, Dr. Jean. Thanks for joining me. Today is Monday. Monday, brain breaks, all you lucky teachers. Well, that's okay. Wanted to talk about brain breaks, and brain breaks are something that teachers have used forever. Whenever your children get restless, when they are not paying attention, you can have them stand up and move and do a brain break. So they've become very popular recently because the brain research experts are saying people's brains, children's brains, all of our brains need to move about every 15 or 20 minutes to get oxygen going. So these brain breaks are ways to help your students stay alert, and they're also very reflective of some of the big buzzwords in education now. Active learning. Every time you watch one of my Facebook Live things, I talk about active learning. The more time children spend in front of a screen, the more we need to get them up, and we have to have them move. The executive function, that's self-regulation, self-control. When children participate in these brain breaks, there's a beginning and an end, and they have to learn self-regulation and self-control to do those things. We're also going to be doing some brain breaks where we practice skills, and I know there's so much emphasis on rigor and using instructional time. So I'm going to show you some brain breaks where kids can practice skills and have fun and move at the same time. So want you to know you don't have to be an athlete to do these things. You're going to see I have on just an ordinary dress and ordinary pair of shoes. These don't take any special equipment or materials. Another thing about these brain breaks, I think it's real important that you do these with the children, that you model these and show how much fun it can be. Not all of your children are going to be able to do all of the things that I'm going to be sharing with you today. So your job is to take these ideas, harvest them, adapt them, make them work for your particular age group. And some of the things too, children are not going to get the movements the first time. According to brain research, it takes about 7 to 25 times for muscle memory to kick in. So it doesn't matter if they do it right or wrong. Whatever they do, as long as they are moving and participating and trying to watch you, that is a really good thing for the brain. So I'm going to show you some songs that you can use. I'm going to start off with some brain activities to start your day. Instead of having children come in, sit down, be quiet for morning meeting, think about having them stand up and do a song or a movement activity. Now, the first one I'm going to do is called Time to Get Up. I do have a free YouTube video where you can watch this or get the music for it. So, everybody, I won't make you do this because I know it's been a long day for you. Mondays are always tough. So I will demonstrate this to you the very best I can. What you're going to do is you're going to have the children get on their pony, and always prompt them and get them ready. It's time to get up. It's time to get up. Get up on your feet this morning. It's time to get up. It's time to get up. Get ready to learn today. Get that blood flowing, get your heart going, move those arms and legs, and wake up your brain. Power march. Okay, I think you got it. I'm not going to be doing all of each song, but just to get them up and have them move and get their bodies going a little bit. Now I'm going to do another one that you could use to start your morning. It's called Morning Stretch. And this would be particularly good for children who are all wound up or stressed for whatever reason. And it's almost like yoga. We're going to be breathing and just kind of calming down. There was a teacher who told me that every day she would just put that song on and the children would come form a circle and just kind of relax and get into the mode for the day. When you have children just close their lips and practice breathing through their noses, that's a really good thing to help them relax and get oxygen going to the brain. So this is called Morning Stretch, and I also have a free YouTube video of this that you can watch. It feels so good to start the day by stretching. Breathe in deeply and then let the air out. Breathe in fresh air. Push the stale air out. Stand up tall. Look left, then right. Roll your neck around so it's not too tight. Shoulders up and circle around. Other direction without a sound. Slowly breathe in and lift your arms up high. Let the air out and bring your arms by your side. Breathe in. Breathe out. I think you got the idea of that one. One to mention too, when you start your day with one of these songs, do it every day for several weeks. That way it becomes what we call an indicator activity. Just like when you go to a ball game and the national anthem begins, everybody gets in their seat and gets ready. So when you use the same morning song, it helps the children know, okay, we're ready to start the day and we're ready to get going. Now, the next little morning activity I'm going to share with you is called, I call it the class stomp. Whenever you clap your hands or you stomp your feet, you get blood going to the brain. It activates the brain. So you would have the children stand, and then you start off like this. We think Joseph is super. We think Joseph is super. And you would go around the class and say each child's name. And you could use different adjectives. That's a good way to do adjectives like super and fantastic and responsible and all of those character traits that you want children to get. Another really good way to connect with the brain in the morning is by doing handshakes. And I've got a couple YouTube videos of those. But, you know, just go around to each child and give them like a thumb kiss. Or you can give them a handshake. Or you can give them a high five. Or you can give them a cool dude knuckle bump. The next little brain breaks I'm going to share with you are ones where we cross the midline. And so have the children put their two fists together like this, and this is what your brain looks like, and it really is about the size of your brain. And there are two parts in the brain, and what we want to do is we want to activate both sides of the brain and help build bridges in the brain. And so we do this if you draw a line down the middle of your body. That's your midline. And when you cross over the midline, it really helps, you know, activate the brain and make those connections. So one thing that you can do is give the children a brain hug. Thumbs up, thumbs down, cross your arms, clasp your fingers, and give yourself a brain hug. Now, you can tie this in with some of your skills. You can have them count in and out. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could also have them say the months of the year, days of the week. Now, for some of your little guys, it's too hard to do that brain hug, so you can just have them clasp their fingers and say the days of the week or count or do some other things. Cross and tap is another good one. Left hand to right leg, right hand to left leg. And again, you could sing the nursery rhymes for a brain break. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. You could have them read the word wall words as they did this. A, and, all, are. You could have them count. And another way you can do cross and tap is with your elbows on your knees. This is a little bit more difficult. So we could do 1, 2, 3, 4. And now for your older children, you could let them do that and skip count. That helps them get ready for multiplication. Another good activity for cross and tap is when you have children just do things with their fingers. There's good ways to build, it's a good way to build up muscle strength and self-control, but also if you just take your hands and go like that, you'll be surprised how that activates, gets things going in the brain. You can let them do seesaw like I did. You can let them cross their fingers and then twiddle their thumbs, and then twiddle your index fingers, and twiddle your middle fingers, and twiddle the different fingers, and then have them put the opposite thumb on top. And just when you change that opposite thumb on top, it creates a whole new feeling. And you can have the children hold their fingers up like this, and they can tap the different fingers. But these things are really good for engaging children too. I mean, they're all busy, they're all doing something with their hands and keeping busy. Another brain break I want to share with you, I want to share a few skill brain breaks, things that you can do to reinforce skills. So you could have the children stand up, and this is one of my favorites. There's also a YouTube video where you can do this, but you don't need the music for most of these things. So the children put their hands in the air and say a letter, A, touch their shoulders and make the A sound, A, and then they touch their toes and say something that begins with that sound. So this will be A, apple, B, book, C, cat. And whenever you lean over like this, you get blood going to the brain. At my age, I want to keep all the blood I can going to my brain, and I want to cross the midline as much as I can to keep my brain active. So these things are good for the children's brains, but they're also good for our brains as adults. And these are good for their bodies as well, just to get up and move their bodies. Another thing that you can do for a brain break, if you skip counting or just counting regularly, instead of having them kids sit, you would have them stand up and pick up your weights. And this is called Pump Up to 100. Got a video for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and just do different exercises like you would actually have weights in your hand and pump it up as you count. You can do karate, counting, or skip counting. There again, you're crossing the midline, getting both things going. Another thing I wanted to mention with some of the alphabet songs that I do. With the younger children, it's just good for them to sing these letters and sounds. It puts it in the brain, and when it's introduced formally, it's got a place to go. Marianne Wolf, one of our top reading researchers, says, sing those alphabet songs with the kids. You know, they can have fun and learn at the same time. With your older children, they already know their letters and sounds. So when you do these brain breaks, you could have them use parts of speech. Like we're going to phonercize today with adjectives. A, adorable. Or we're going to phonercize today with verbs. B, bounce. Just change them and insert some of your skills you might be working on. There are some other very simple things you can do for brain breaks, and this is one I used to do with my kids all the time. Balance. All you have to do is stand them up. Can you balance on your right foot? And then can you balance on your left foot? Balancing is very powerful for the brain. It doesn't take any special equipment. It doesn't take any space. You can just have them practice balancing on the right foot and left foot. Who can balance the longest and play a little game, and when they fall, they sit down. You could also use this balancing activity to have them balance on their tippy toes, or can you balance with your eyes closed? You'd be surprised how difficult it is to balance with your eyes closed. And I'm looking at my watch, and I'm seeing I'm about to run out of time. So I will do one more brain break with you today, and then we'll do another Facebook Live video on brain breaks in a couple weeks or so. But this one is called Shakedown, and it's absolutely my favorite brain break. So the children stand up, and you say, show me your right hand. And if you're the teacher and you say, show me your right hand, you hold up your left hand. And we're going to count with the right hand 5 times, then the left hand 5 times, right foot 5 times, left foot 5 times, then every body part 4 times, 3 times, 2. You'll figure it out. Here we go. Show me your right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 1. Oh, yeah. Now, if you have children who speak a different language in the home, you could invite them to teach you how to count in their language. If your children are all wound up when you do these brain breaks, do a whisper version. So with this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just by lowering your voice and whispering, it just brings down the whole energy level in your classroom. One more little prop that I wanted to share with you. This is a swim noodle, and you can, of course, buy these at the dollar store and cut them into sections. But these are so good for crossing the midline. These are also good for invisible writing in the air. You can let them practice making letters or shapes. Older children have them write their spelling words or vocabulary words. Another way to do these words is with a sports spell. So like for basketball, they take their basketball and the word red. R-E-D, red. And for baseball, red. R-E-D, red. And you hit a home run. And so you just take different sports and sight words, spelling words, vocabulary words, let children act them out. So I think it's about time for me to go. I have a little commercial before I close today. Carolyn Kislowski, sharing kindergarten, holding hands and sticking together, is just a genius and so creative and artistic. And she has taken the brain breaks and she's created these little things that we call brain cookies. So there are breakfast cookies, ways to start your day. There are handshake cookies, ways to connect with children. There are cross the midline cookies. There are transition time cookies. There are smart cookies with learning activities. There are even some relaxation cookies for when children are all wound up, and some different props. So if you go to my blog, drjeanandfriends.blogspot.com, there's a link so you can get some brain cookies, and we've even got some free ones so you can try them out and see how you like them. So I'm going to end with a little song. This is a relaxation song. I do have a free YouTube video with this song. But if you're having a hard day, or if the children are all wound up, just to have them stand up. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. Tony knows. Tony knows. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. That's what Tony knows. And I do love you, and I thank you for sharing your afternoon with me. And take care, and God bless, and I'll see you for another Live at 5 soon.